Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of Farming Blind with Duck. Most of my videos have pertained to a lot of highfalutin, high-tech assistive technologies, but I wanted to change it up just a little bit. As you see here, I've got a 1952 model Super C. My family bought this thing brand new back then, so if I've done the math right, I believe it's 73 years old as of this year. A little bit of backstory on it. This was actually the first tractor I ever drove when I was a kid. If you'll go back and look at my documentary, Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, on the channel here, you'll actually see some video clips of me on this tractor with my grandfather. When he used to cut hay, I would actually sit in his lap when I was probably 3, 4, 5 years old. And many a times I would fall asleep and my head would hit the steering wheel and wake me up. So a lot of history on this. Like I said, this was my first experience. We had some older ones, or some other tractors, should I say, but this one here was kind of my baby. Well, my grandfather got really sick back in the late 90s and passed away in 97. My dad and his two sisters knew this tractor meant a lot to me, so they actually gave it to me. That's the time I actually, quote unquote, stripped it down and gave it a paint job, took everything off of it. The tractor is pretty much still original. I did about 4 years ago convert it over to 12 volt. Because it was on a 6-volt system, and honestly, it just gave trouble starting and just if I didn't use it regularly. So I wanted to get it out and kind of give it a good wash here the other day, get the dust off of it. Me and my cousin actually got it going. We had some issues with charging on it and getting it to run, but thank the Lord we got it finally going. So I wanted to use it just a little bit. Like I said, I've got, we used to cut hay with this tractor, a rake tractor. It used to be the kind of an all-purpose tractor. Of course, back then it wasn't tethers and such as that. It was just old antique rakes. So again, like I said, I just want to give everybody an opportunity to see that not only do I use a lot of updated equipment to make our job easier, but I do periodically drag out the old stuff to kind of get it going. A lot of people don't know anything about these type tractors or this equipment, but if you're an antique farmer or an antique enthusiast, as a matter of fact, you can kind of appreciate some of this older stuff. Again, like I said, this is a 52 model. It's hard to believe it. It's 73 years old this year and still runs relatively well. I'm hoping maybe turn it into a project tractor where I can pull it in my shop here and do some work and maybe eventually give it another paint job, get some things working on it that's not actually working right or hadn't worked in quite a while. It's just some routine stuff. But a good thing about this tractor is like this, you can still, as far as I know, you can still get a lot of parts for them. You may have to get some salvage parts, but you can usually get them backed up and running very well, and there are other places. So anyway, just wanted to give you another short video of Farming Blind with Duck, and I wanted to let you kind of look at some of the history of this place and our farm. And I've got some other videos I may throw out there periodically and just kind of showing a little bit of the heritage side of our farm. So again, just want to kind of give you a little inside look at some of the old school technology. So anyway, I'm going to head this thing back to the barn and put it up. Hopefully I can get this thing to fire up. Like I said, it's some old school stuff, but still works when it needs to. You guys have a great day, and thanks for stopping by for Farming Blind with Duck.